This lesson is on using regular expressions to search for a string within another string. Now, we've already done that in a previous lesson using the string pos or string position command, the strpos, or the case-insensitive string stripos, to look for one string within another. But sometimes we need to have more precision in the pattern matching that we're doing. And there is a special language called regular expressions that works well with other languages. It's actually its own separate engine to do pattern matching. Many languages incorporate it, like PHP, Perl, JavaScript, etc. And so you can read about regular expressions in places like php.net, but you can also look online, and there's a lot of information about the complexity of them. Now, I don't want to get too complex here. I'm going to show you a couple of very useful matches that you can do with this kind of pattern matching. And so we're going to look for text that's found at the beginning of a string, and we're going to look for text that's found only at the end of a string. So we're going to do that. So let's look at the name list that I have here. Steve, Tori, Jane, Judy, Mary, John, and Edward. So if I put in S, I found, begins with S, I found Steve. There were no team member names that ended with S. If we go back and look at that, we can see that that's true. How about E? If I put E in there, well, I get Edward, which begins with an E, and I get Steve and Jane, which end with an E. Likewise, let's try a Y, and I get the three names. Now, I could do RY, and I should just get Tori and Mary. Let's try that. So I do get Tori and Mary that ends with RY. There are no names that begin with RY. All right, let's go look at the kind of code that we use to handle this kind of targeted search. Here's the form. Same thing we had before, find name. And then we're going to go look at the list. Let's look at the PHP. There's an array I set up here, and I just populated it individually. In this array, I don't have anything about team positions or anything like that, like I had in a previous lesson, so I don't have to worry about massaging the data. I can look at the elements in the array just as they are. So, first I check, of course, to make sure find name is not empty, that I've got something to look for. Now, what we do here is we set up a particular pattern. The patterns have to be the thing that we're looking for with special characters around it. Now, we're looking for $find name. Remember, I put in E and T and S and that sort of thing, and that's what would be in $find name. But in front of it, I need a /, and at the end of it, I need a / as well. Now, here's the special regular expression symbol. That's known as a caret. It's usually in the uppercase above the number 6 on your keyboard. Now, if you put a caret in front of that and between these two slashes, then it'll look for find name at the beginning of a string only. So here's how it's done. A bit different than the string pos or string position. So we have a function here, PHP function called pregmatch. So it's doing a regular expression match. It uses the pattern that we defined in the line above it, and it inspects the member that we brought back as the element in the array, looking for that pattern. If it finds any, it puts a number in there, the number of matches it found. If it finds 0, it returns 0. So this time, we're going to look for the number of matches greater than 0. It means we found it. So the number of matches, I actually had that little symbol in front of there so we could see the number of matches we found, but it would be 1. And so we looked for the member and we returned it. I pretty much just copied that whole block of code and I put it down here. And this one is for ends with. The only change that I made is I took out that caret symbol that was there before, and instead, near the end of the string, before the very last /, I put a $sign. That's the ends with symbol that we need in regular expression land. Again, this is a vast subject. You can do extremely complicated pattern matching with regular expressions. So again, same command, looking for the number of matches, and if I find it, I display it. And you saw that work. So that's how you do a very simple regular expression to do matching. And that ends our lesson on regular expressions.